All right, Magadi. So nhasi ndoda kutaura pane nyaya iri kunetsa mazuva ano, nyaya yezimura ine maartist. So maybe semunhu akamboshanda nemaartist akamboshanda nezimura ndogona kuva ne one or two things to say. Ma-issues trust agara ariko ekuti ma-artist may not trust organization that they're working with, coming from record labels, even ZIMURA itself. It's normal that artists in Zimbabwe if my trust issues, they may think kuti things like that. So yes, I'm not saying ZIMURA is not stealing money, but I'm just saying it's a norm that artists are my trust issues from such organizations. So, but however, pandakateera nyaya idzi ndakaona some things that maybe they need to be addressed. They make people raise some questions kuti zvinhu zviri kumbofamba sei. So ndoda kutanga panyaya the issue iri pana naAmuli, Karakara naDerek avo vari kunzi vakadzingwa kuzimura. I've worked with Amuli before. Yeah, Amuli anodziva musoro. I know him. I worked with him. Yeah, he's like that. And my artist is normally what should learn. My artist, you know their characters, their characteristics. My character, my artist. That's art on its own. Can art asina something very controversial? Most of the artists, we find that they have those issues. So kana uchidana artists now, you have to know how to deal with them. Unodilana now say. So probably that's what I can say. Mkoma Jose is level-headed. I've worked with him also. Artists and I shanda now in different capacities, but I could see, and unfortunately I remember Derek, but those two I've worked with them before. And sometimes if you talk to them, there's a runner. I know normally we can sit down and talk and sometimes bring this issue, we talk and it's ironed out, things like that, which is a norm in the industry. Now, the way Kara handled that issue in ZIMURA is, I understand Amuli was contesting for chairmanship, right? And then after that, we hear that because so raise my eyebrows. Is it this politics at play? Right? I was contesting with you, then I look for the next available opportunity that I have, then I check you out. Right? But why the contest? Then the then the next thing I'm checked out. So raise my question marks. Probably they should have been wise enough and handle this issue in a different way in ZIMURA. Because iwe ndiwanga uri ndicontesta newe ndowakundidzinga pasina kana time hazvinyatsi kupa chimiro chakanaka. So I think they failed to address that issue in a wise way. I think they should have 6 dialogue nevakomana ava kuti ngatigare pasi titaurirane, then maybe the way forward find each other, because muri 5 muri 6 munotova nemafungiro nemaonero zvinhu akasiyana. So nokufanira chine that ability to accommodate contrasting views evamwe ndokuti mufambe zvakanaka, mushande zvakanaka. Manje ndikangoti ndikaopozana nezvaunofunga iwewe wakutondidzinga, it seems like pane something chauri kudi chauri kuviga. So I think that in that regard, these guys, they failed to handle this issue wisely. Then the other issue is pavakanzi vaita zvavaita, and then they are supposed to be expelled, or I don't know if it is expelled from ZIMURA or suspended or whatever. Did they follow due procedure? Kana munhu achinge aita chaita, I think munhu anodaidza for a hearing. So vakavadaidzira kuhearing, vakasaenda kuhearing, then vasati vaenda kuhearing makavapawo here something chiri written kuti we are calling you for a hearing. yekuti tinzwe nyaya yako, because munhu wese is innocent until proven guilt. So that issue yamuri kuti makazovadaidza, I mean makabva mavadzinga, I think I missed that one. Did you call them for a hearing? Kana makuvadaidza for a hearing, what were the findings in that hearing? Kana vasina kuuya kuhearing, mavadaidza mavapa inonzi chi letter yekuti uyai kuhearing, then they don't come, notice a hearing I mean, and they don't come, pane maprocedure ekuzimura yekuti you handle these issues in this way. Or even munhu asina kuuya kuhearing, you sit and deliberate their issues asipo, then mupa muono wenyu muchitarisa both sides. I think that's something that is normal that you need to do. So I don't know kana vakadirisa that area. Then padaro foot, they were talking about quorum meeting, vakati vanhu vakaita 3 they form a quorum. So these guys can also say takagara tiri 3, so we formed a quorum, so we are equally as if a ZIMURA board that sat down and deliberated on issue vari 3 vakadaro, because ndo zvamunotaura zvinotaura chi yo MOU yenyu, right? But you can sit a quorum of 3 people, so there were 3, so their decisions also are binding if they ever sit down. So their decisions are also binding as it is. As equal as we are saying, your decisions are also binding. So theirs can also be recognized as binding because they also form a quorum. There were 3, right? So that's the other issue there. Then, looking at it also, ndakanzwa pane issue yekutengeswa kwebuilding and things like that. And the chairman, he was then the previous board. I'm not going to mention names, I'm not sure his name. He was in the previous board and he was tasked to atengese a building on behalf of ZIMURA. Okay, fair enough, maybe zvakaitika, the board gave you that end. But now, this guy seems like he's educated. But atadza kuona chinonzi conflict of interest, atadza kunzwisisa kuti vari rinoti conflict of interest inoreva chii. Why am I saying so? Hachazivi manje kuti did we explore all the avenues dzekutengesa nazo this building mukatadza? Because togona nge makangoparapara pamusoro, then you say tatadza kutengesa because already you have someone vamunati atengesa awane something. Did you advertise? Makapa here proof yekuti pane pamakaadvertise. Did you then pamakagara papo you have used your guy any experience or knowledge yekutengesa ma-properties retail industry, I mean yekutengesa ma-properties kuti ashande on that capacity achitsvaga handiti, because anoziva zvinoitika. So you could have been working there in that kanoti iye atengese aifanira kuchitsvaga ma-real estate companies handiti, asiri kwaanoshanda, right, otengesa, because you have knowledge already on what is required. So the moment that iye ari kutengesa and the company where he's working for definitely I think there's a commission involved, so he's going to get a commission. So chino pakaita imwe company inouya achiti tinogona kutengeserai, chances are that unogona kuidzvanya, right? Unogona kutoivharira panze and the sale won't go unless uri watengesa through your company, because une interest there, unogona kuwana mari from the sale of that property. So there is serious conflict of interest panyaya iyi. Saka I think vakazviexposa kuti their dealings there, it was a bit of a mess. They should have handled it in a better way. So yeah, pakabhaizika. Then also I'm seeing that I want to believe ZIMURA employ my professionals. I see their salary ranges. I had 3,000. Oh, it's quite a lot of money. And now we want to believe that they are professionals, right? Their employees, they are professionals. I understand my artist. I really understand my artists. They may not know some things, some professional protocols and things like that, because the artists, they are good in art. So, but ZIMURA, I think in them are professionals who may know how better to communicate issues. So, what artists are on social media, ZIMURA crash artists on social media. I think there is a lack of professionalism there. They should just not be competing with these guys, post up on Facebook, those things that they are doing. Runapa, their page, they are busy posting, hey, hands, those things that they're doing. That's not professional. We are a professional company. You don't deal that way. If you need to communicate something, just do it properly. Issue a statement. That's it. You don't have to compete with them like Mruto computer, like a company that are competing. That's not on. So I think in that regard, there's a lack of competence in terms of the staff that are working there with the people that are running their page. I think there's a problem there. You don't have to be doing that. Like, band music. And disana and the like, dissing these guys, dissing. No, that's not on. I think they are losing it there. You are losing it. So just issue a statement, that's it. You're not artists. Right? Then, but this issue while out there handling this media, and I also saw something that these guys were saying could hands my salary akalika and the like, and they get first vakati ndenhema, then later ndokuzoti ndechokadi, but that was net, not gross. So the salary chi. Salary is the cost to the company, right? Salary is the cost to the company. Then the worker is supposed to pay VAT. But as an organization, you've paid that employee $3,000, right? So now the employee must pay the Zimbabwean government through ZIMURA in terms of pay. But thank God with Zimbabwe, ZIMURA works with the companies, so the company deduct already pay Yemshand and pay it to ZIMURA. But the cost to the organization is $3,000. We don't talk about the net. So the salary is $3,000. Don't talk of deduction. No, my deduction is dark and Yemshand. But what we are losing as an organization is $3,000. That's what we are paying, right, to the worker. But now through that 3,000, panning we am as tax, no, but government, which is an obligation yamshandi, but the organization deductor, so that it gives the money to ZIMURA. In other countries, tax yako, right? So I think that way, that shows a lack of I don't know what to say, but yeah, that's being incompetent, right? Then number 3, not number 3, I don't know now number actually. Then the other issue there that also comes in my mind is issue kuti mimi you collector 3.5% of advertising revenue ku ZBC. So I want to believe that's ZBC. But what about other broadcasters? What's the agreement? About 3.5% is ZBC. What about other? Right? So maybe you need to shed light there with, okay, other, maybe affiliated to ZBC, we are collecting this percentage, right? That we agreed with ZBC. Because that 3.5% is an agreement that we have with ZBC. But you did not tell us if you have the same agreement with the other independent broadcasters. So there's another revenue there to maybe as that sound about imari. And also you mentioned issue kuti my artists asiri my members enyu, you collect for them, and the amount that is collected is 10. It's not 10%. But I don't know why charge. I can say remember you deduct 10%. But now my question is, in any andina contract name says ZIMURA you collect my royalties, right? You don't have a contract with me, and then okay, you collect that money on what grounds? So probably there is ZBC also, or the broadcast that are paying ZIMURA money that is owed to independent artists are still aligned to ZIMURA, are still contracted to ZIMURA, are still a member as ZIMURA. ZBC must not pay that money to ZIMURA. That's the first thing, I think. They must find a way of paying the artist. If they're paying it to ZIMURA, then there's a problem, right? And now if they pay to ZIMURA, ZIMURA inondipa 10, inotora 10%, right? But anocalculate say how much is due to artist X as remember as ZIMURA. Because mind you, muchatora administrative costs enyu pamari unobva kuZBC, muchatora mari whatever masalaries amunobhadhara vashandi venyu from the money that is coming from there, right? And you are buying buildings there as ZIMURA, which is benefiting your organization, right? And remember, I'm not a member of ZIMURA per se. So if that is benefiting ZIMURA and not benefiting me, it means pamari unobva kuZBC my royalties overall. Amufani kunge matora mari admin, amufani kunge matora mari salaries from my money, right? Must just give me my portion as it is. Kana maona 1.5 million, and you said my percentage there is 5%. So give me 5% of 1.5 million. Then you deduct your 10% handling fee from there. Because mukatanga kutora mari yekuti admin whatever other thing that you do, they don't benefit me. They have nothing to do with me. Indokoda mari yangu chete. Then matora mari yangu yoyo deduct your 10% handling. That's okay. But don't deduct mari yema admin fees inema salary enyu yavashandi venyu. I think that would be unfair. So I think there's a kind of a problem there. One mangotora mari atinange takawirirana. Okay, given my Torah, it's okay. But yeah, there is a problem. So I think there's an issue there with ZIMURA. That needs really to be looked at and so that things work very well. Maybe just also to shed light, some people think ZIMURA, mira vashandi. ZIMURA is not a representative vashandi. Want to collect a marichet, yozupa vashandi. So on its own, I see union vashandi. Vashandi vane right to go on a union mirror, probably doing ZIMURA in the like. So yeah. And ZIMURA was saying you also anzi muruku utsamura vanhu vasiri ivo, right? Anzi mati sarutsamura vanhu vasiri mari iri irishoma from ZBC. But that's not a problem, artist. And artist imi mati ndimi kundokollecta mari and ZBC yakupa ndimi munofanira kuenda kuZBC munotora mari ngaiwanda. Kana you also saying there are some organizations that are owing you. It's your duty kuti mende mudo collecta mari. Kana mukada collecta mari, which means there is incompetence. You are failing to do your work. You collecta mari. So the artist have a right to be angry at you and say mandipa $6 because matadza kuenda kuwana sikasubhadhara mari vaya kuti mudo collect on my behalf is the artist. So I have every right to come and cry for and say no, you are not doing your job. So understand artists cannot judge complaint from that regard. Ekuti amartadza amuskuleta mari dzakakwana muri pamari shoma. Yes, they have the right to complain because murukutadza yamimi kuenda kundokollecta mari kuvanhu murukuti they owe you. It's your duty, it's your responsibility to collect those monies. Devise ways of collecting those monies. So easy. So yeah, but kumana kuzimbira musangomhanya kuita nevaimbi muchienda pasocial media muchivadhisa and the like. No, that's not professional. That's not professional. You have employed people that are earning $3,000 per month. They must be professional. They must show that they are professionals, which is a lot of money. 3,000? I'm coming there to work for ZIMURA. Please give me a job there so that I can work for you and earn that much, right? All right. But this is my 2 cents. Do your job, guys. Do your job. I know Anapoli, I know them, I worked with them before, sometimes we fight, it's no more. So yeah, that's it. That's for me. That's my 2 cents.